Welcome back to another Tier List Tuesday. I'm the Failed Author. Every Tuesday on the channel, we're posting a tier list of some sort. Could be Nintendo 64 stuff, could be Battlefield, could be anything. Come follow along. And every Friday, we're uploading a Battlefield 3 video until all of my archived Battlefield 3 footage is lost. Mind you, I don't know how consistent. I've been actually pretty good about uploading every week, but sometimes there's going to be gaps. Life happens, who knows. But follow along if you're interested. Today, we are talking about Battlefield 3 Assault class weapons. So which weapons of the assault class are tiered out? Let's find out. Our first weapon here is the AUG. I think the AUG is good, and I don't think it's better than a B, but B is pretty appropriate. If it had a faster fire rate, I think it would be a little bit higher because, you know, some of these weapons are just busted. This game really rewarded fire rate with recoil. If you had low recoil and you had a good fire rate, I mean, GD. You were good, but the AUG is something I used my first play through of Battlefield 3 back on release, so 2011 through 2012, a little bit in 2013, but really, so I don't know. I think it was kitted out. It was awesome. Foregrip, holographic, suppressor. It was nice, man. It was nice. Maybe it shouldn't have been as good because it's fire rate, but I just feel like my playstyle aligned pretty well with that. Low recoils, a little bit moderate on the fire rate, but it was good. I love the AUG. It seems like every game that it ends up in, it's one of the higher weapons. Let's go to an absolute hashtag baddie. The F2000 is an A. That's what I'm talking about. The fire rate being fast and it being another bullpup is interesting, but really had options when using this thing because it could absolutely kill. And I think that man, I think it's just one of those that maybe it was slept on. And if you look at the channel, you can go into my Failed Author page. I have all my Battlefield 3 videos located all conveniently in a nice playlist for you. I like the F2000. I think I should have used it more. But I was really trying to archive everything. And, you know, when you're like getting spread out too much, you know, it's a little confusing, right? Well, you get a little confused. You said, I gotta get this recorded instead of having fun. Oh, no. But I was having fun. The AEK, that is our first S. I think that it could be the best gun in the game. It's in contention at least. I think it was an absolute unit in Battlefield 4 as well. It's just that fire rate is so good. I didn't have the luck with it. Something about this gun was weird too. I don't know. It felt like worse than any of the other guns. Maybe the accuracy downside for me just was wonky, or I sucked with it. But especially using the iron sights, I feel like I could hardly hit the broadside of a barn. And using a suppressor, forget about it. But that thing, man, its time to kill was so fast because of how, awesome it was. And I do like the AEK a lot. It's not one that I used a super ton. Had a few, stars back in the day, service stars back in the day. But I really think that it deserves the S tier because, man, you would run across people who were really proficient with it, and you're like, I'm in danger. Here we have the AK-74M, the AK-47, really. I think it's a C. An excellent weapon to start the game with, but, I actually enjoyed using it. I enjoyed using its iron sights too, oddly enough, but nothing I can give higher than a C. It just wasn't. It was not that guy. It was not that guy, pal. It was not that guy. And I do think what a great weapon to start with. We'll talk about the other starting weapon in a moment, and we'll have a different song be sung there for sure. The AN-94, I do think is an S tier. I love that gun. I think a lot of people loved it too. And you would sometimes play these Battlefield 3 premium servers, and they're like, hey, no AN-94, please. Like, just, if you were good, you were good. And its fire rate was fantastic. It's so cool. Such an iconic weapon in this game, too. Loved it. Loved it. One thing about these weapons, too, in more than any other game, you had to take in, like, reload time. And some of the best weapons, you'll notice, we'll get to the, hint, we'll get to one of the better ones. I think the reload time just made it so busted. But the L85, I actually really liked it. I'm going to give it a B. And I know that's probably not, a lot of people's opinions, but once you made it through, the iron sight was kind of cruddy. The optics made it a totally different weapon, and I feel like it really unlocked its ability. And it's just like the AUG in the sense that it's kind of a mid-fire rate, probably better than it should be, but it worked, and it was awesome. And I really only played that my first time around I didn't unlock it my second playthrough. Should have just bought all the unlocks. Was stupid. But it's okay. But I do think the L85, probably one of the most underrated weapons in the class. Never gets any love. All right, the G3, I think it's a good C. The reason we're going to give it a C, though, and better than the AK, maybe even belongs up here, is it's so powerful. It is so powerful. I'm almost tempted to give it a B, but I'll keep it down here and see. Because of its magazine size. 20 shots. It's just like the Scar H in that regard, where it's so powerful, it's awesome, but, you know, you're hindered by your magazine capacity. I think that's another slept-on one. I remember running that one almost specifically or exclusively with a red dot. The red dot on that thing was nice. Got me feeling nicey when I would use it. Probably the best gun in the game. Let's not kid around. Is up next. The M16. I don't know. Right. AEK M16. I'm going to give it to the M16 because of its reload speed. Its reload speed was just so quick. It made it such a problem. Just such a problem. I don't know. Like, it's just so good. It's so good. Now, the KH 2002, it's almost like I can't even say anything about it. What hasn't been said about it before a million times at this point. We're talking so much. 14 years later, right? Almost 14 years later. Ay. And you unlock it immediately. Like, my God, they're like, hey, here's the God gun. Go play. It's cool. It's like the anti-AK 74M or 47. The KH 2002, I'm giving it a D. Probably a little harsh, but I never used it. And I never wanted to use it. And that's why it's a D. Way too many better options. I know it's a DLC weapon, I believe. Maybe not. I don't even know. I just never... There you go. I didn't even... I have no clue about this weapon. I didn't even... That's how much I freaking used it. But... Bah. Ha! Scar L. I'm giving it an A. I love the Scar L. It's like... if the Scar was a slight... Scar H was slightly weaker, but with 30 bullets. And that's actually really good. The optic, I think I ran the red dot a lot on that one. It just seemed to align with it. You know what's weird is when you would watch the reticles recoil when you would shoot them with the red dot compared to the holographic. I think the red dot on a lot of them was a little more jerky, but I found it really nice on the Scar H and the G3 and the Scar L. So the Scar L could put in some work. It's not one, though, that you're going to bring to anything in a closer engagement. You're going to have to use something faster, like the F2000, even the AUG or the L85. And I don't even know if those had faster fire rates, but it sure felt like it, right? But definitely the S tier. There's a reason they're an S tier, right? Mamma mia. Let's go into... We only have a few left in this class. If I'm forgetting any, let me know. But I think this is it. The, what is it, the HK, the M416, I don't know. I think C is appropriate. It's just, it gets kind of outclassed, and maybe it's better than the G3, maybe it's not. I remember liking it my first playthrough, my second playthrough, I didn't actually like it. It's just okay. I think C is appropriate, and maybe I'll get flamed for that, but I'm happy with it. I think that's fine, which leads us into our last weapon here. The Famas. Where does the Famas go? C, B, I think B is okay. I think probably a little closer to C than I'd like to admit, but again, a pretty killer fire rate. A weird magazine capacity. Why? It was like 26. It's so weird. And the reload time was just okay, but it shot so fast too, so its time to kill was wicked. One of those that you could bring in a closer engagement and actually, you know, get the job done. But this is it. This is my the failed author again. This is my consistent on the Battlefield 3 assault class weapons tier list. I think I'm pretty happy with this. I don't think I'd change really anything. And I love looking at Battlefield 3 stuff and talking about it in general because all the memories come flooding back. And I love talking about Battlefield 3. It's probably my favorite. I'm at the point where I'm willing to say it's my favorite game ever, which is crazy to me. Definitely my favorite first-person shooter. But if you like what you saw, if you have some disagreements, you have some memories you want to post, put them down in the comments. Let me know if you want to see anything specifically on the Failed Author Tier List Tuesdays. Check them out. Adios, muchachos.